There's an open mic that just came in this morning. This is from the My HISRadio app. Let's check this out, the open mic.
Hey, His Radio. I got a 1985 Cabbage Patch Doll original from my husband's aunt and uncle yesterday. I wanted one from 1982 when they came out. I didn't get one. I got knockoffs, of course, but I got an original one yesterday, and if it's in God's timing, He will do it. And thank you, and just want to do a praise report.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you got one. I mean, what? She was a little girl, wanted a Cabbage Patch Doll. She said in 82, right?
I think that was when the original ones came out, but I think
gotcha.
the one she got is from the 90s.
That she just got.
Yes.
Now, so it's like she waited until 2024 to get a Cabbage Patch Doll that she's always wanted for decades. It makes me think about those things that you just so desire and you're like waiting for and you wish you could have, and then all of a sudden God gives it to you at just the right time. This sounds bougie. I'm sorry. It sounds bougie, but I've always wanted an RV to vacation in. And we've tried for like the past 4 years to get one, and one thing leads to another. It just doesn't happen. So I know God's going to bring it at just the right time, probably when I'm 84.
But you know what? That's the perfect time because God's timing is perfect.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd be curious if you'd use the open mic this morning through the My HISRadio app on something that you've waited so long for, and then all of a sudden it came at just the right time.
There was a time when I was a teenager. Mother was a single parent and could not provide the latest trend, so to speak. I'm now a grown married woman, and now when I shop, I always humble myself with the things that I can purchase now to the things I couldn't have then.
Yeah, because you can do it now. I mean, I grew up completely poor. My single mother couldn't take care of any of that kind of stuff because she worked to take care of me and my 6-year-old younger brother than me. So she tried her very best.
Wow. And then now you can, because you have the capability to provide those things, not only for yourself and your family, but still you've learned the value of that dollar through that experience.
Yeah, right? So Patrick's here at 800-447-7234. What about you, Patrick?
I've been in the coffee industry for about 10 years, and I finally was able to take out a loan and get my first coffee roaster. So I'm going to start roasting my own coffee.
Nice. That sounds like it's been a dream for a long time for you.
It has. It really has. It's been a long time coming. My dream is to own my own coffee shop and roast my own coffee, and that dream, by God's grace, is finally coming true.
Well, I want to come by, Patrick, and get a cup of coffee from you.
That is so cool that's been his lifelong dream. Look, I got to a point in my late 20s, I was like, I'm never getting married. It's never going to happen. And in God's timing, He brought my husband, Joey, into my life, and we were married within 4 months of meeting. So when it's right, when it's right in God's timing, man, you know it.
4 months.
Yeah, less than 4 months.
4 months. Wow, I didn't know that. Ooh, well, it's been lasting. It's what, 30?
25 years.
25 years.
This year, yeah.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
There was an open mic that just came in. This is through our app, the My HISRadio app. By the way, if you don't have the app, download it for free, Google Play in the App Store. You'll see the open mic there. You can tap on it, record something, it'll get right to us.
Morning, Rob and Lizz. My name is Melissa. My husband Richard and I are missionaries in Guatemala. We were supposed to be on a plane Monday for Guatemala to go back for our mission teams this summer. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, I fell and broke my knee. So I'm not going anywhere this summer. So please, I'm asking for prayers for my husband as he goes back to Guatemala. Just thank you for his radio and for all you do to share the gospel with anyone that can listen. And I'm excited to be a part of his radio community.
Oh, well, we're glad you're a part of the HISRadio family here, Melissa. I'm so sorry to hear about your leg, that it broke and you can't even go on the missions trip now.
Right, and she can't be with her husband because they're missionaries there, so he's got work to do and she's got to stay here.
I know, right, to Guatemala. Melissa, if you don't mind, I hope it's okay that we pray for you and your husband. Father, in Jesus' name, we lift Melissa up to you from that open mic, and she just so sad that she cannot get on that plane and go to Guatemala to do the work that you've called her to do. So here's a season where she's here and her husband's going on the plane to go to Guatemala, so keep him safe and may the gospel continue continue in Guatemala through Melissa and her husband. And God, would you heal up Melissa's leg? And could she recover quickly so that she can be healed up and join her husband here really soon? We thank you, God, for what you're going to do for Melissa and her husband and the work through their lives to bring Jesus to people.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I don't know if you know anybody who is a baseball fan, period. I mean, they live, they breathe baseball, they collect the cards. Tell them about the McGuire baseball card. It is going to be a classic. McGuire from the Toronto Blue Jays. It's Rob and Lizz in the morning, his radio. McGuire plays with Bo Bichette, okay? Bo Bichette, let me tell you. Guy hit a foul ball the other day. That ball went soaring and flying fast at 110 miles an hour and hit McGuire from the Blue Jays square in the head.
Yeah. And this is not Mark McGuire. This is Liz McGuire. She's just a fan. There with the Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Hit her in the eye. She stayed until the end of the game. She made it through like she's a trooper. She took it to the face and stayed for the rest of the game.
Now, she got like a black eye, but to me, because she posted her picture on her X. So she posted a picture on X, and it looks like right at the forehead over her, I'm going to guess it's her left eye. There's this big welt that's there. I mean, it looks like the baseball went into her head and stayed there. It's just there. So she went to the hospital, no fractures, no concussion. She's got a thick skull, let me tell you.
So grateful for this, too.
Yeah.
It could have been so bad.
Now, mention baseball card, right? That's because Topps reached out to her and said, we're going to put this picture on a baseball card. 154,000 of them, as a matter of fact. Oh, no. It's 154 or 154,000? I think it's 154.
Something like that. Yeah.
So this is going to be a rare baseball card to add to your collection.
But how cool. I mean, she had gone on X and she was like, look, I got hit in the face. Here's the bruise. Hello, Blue Jays. I'm here for you. I'm a big fan. And so they reached out and then got a hold of Topps and all that. So this foul ball, it was not moving slowly at all. It was 110 miles an hour when it hit her face.
Yeah. Talk about a thick skull. Not to have a fracture or a concussion from that, and she's still smiling at the end of the game with this big bloop coming out of her forehead like that.
Yeah, but I bet she would take it to the face again if she knew she would end up with a customized baseball card.
So I'm reading that this customized baseball card that they gave her, there's 154 of them, right? So now it's a rare collection card. There are some that are on eBay, believe it or not, for sale for $1,000.
Is that her mama?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Scott is a Bucees fan. I mean, what was the first time you went to a Bucees, Scott?
It was a few years ago, the one in Florence, South Carolina. That was the first one I went to. And then last summer, we were coming back from vacation, my family and I, and we went to Sevierville outside, Knoxville, Pigeon Forge area. And that is I think the biggest one right now. Not
it is.
Too much longer.
You're
But
right.
That was a massive one. I love those.
Still is a massive one. That thing is like 74,000 square feet. It's almost 75,000 square feet. This thing, it looks like a really small convenience store in Florence compared to the one in Sevierville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
The thing is fucking huge. So huge. So Buc-ee's started in Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texas does not want to be outdone, by golly, by their own brand in Tennessee. So now they're going to officially build the world's largest Buc-ee's in Tennessee, in Lulling, Tennessee. It will be 75,000 square feet plus.
Yeah, in Texas. So, Texas.
I said Tennessee, didn't I?
Yeah.
The one in Texas, in Lulling, Texas.
Well, and the thing is, they've got that moniker to live up to. Everything's bigger in Texas, so they got to keep it that way. So a Walmart, I think, is like 175,000 square feet, something like that.
Really?
So these Buc-ee's are closing in on that. I mean, they're getting to where they're creeping up on the Walmart as far as, right now it's half the size, but if they keep getting bigger.
Okay, so since Scott was in the biggest one so far, in the world, on the planet for Buc-ee's. Did it feel like it was a Walmart size to you in there?
Not quite.
Maybe like a neighborhood Walmart.
Maybe like a neighborhood Walmart. Right. But not quite a big supersized Walmart. But it was pretty big. They had a lot of room for a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Still packed?
Very packed. Yep. But more room, a little more room to navigate. You weren't like crunched up elbow to elbow with people shoulder to shoulder.
Strange question. I'm sorry. And I have to live through Scott in this, vicariously through Scott, who's been to the world's largest Buc-ee's. Are the bathrooms bigger?
I don't think I've been to the bathroom in Florence. So I did go to the bathroom in this one. It's very roomy. So, yeah.
Who goes to a Buc-ee's and doesn't go to the bathroom?
I know. I don't know.
They're so nice and clean. The cleanest bathrooms I've ever experienced at a gas station is Buc-ee's.
Even if you don't got to go, try.
Rob Morning Crew.
I kind of wish I wasn't like this, but I feel like starting to learn that a lot of people seem to be just like me. And the fact that before you go on vacation, you got to clean up. Like, I cannot go on vacation. I cannot go on any kind of trip if there are dishes in the sink. Now, I will be completely honest and say there's dishes in the sink right now, and I came to work and I didn't care. But going on a vacation, I got to have them completely cleaned up.
So this is not a thing? We always make sure the house is clean before we go. We don't want to come back to a mess.
Exactly, because, you're going to come back and you're going to have laundry, right? Because you've worn all the clothes on vacation, and so you come back to your washer and dryer. But there are a lot of people, I think it's like 3/4 people, got to make sure that their house is completely clean before they go on vacation. And I'm going to say I don't do the laundry before we go, but I certainly make sure it's picked up, it's tidy, the dishes are done before we leave out.
The same exact thing. I mean, even Scott's wife does this.
Yeah, she does not want to come back, like Liz said, come back to a dirty house, because we do. We've got all the kids' laundry, our laundry to get done. So she likes to walk back in the house, breathe, see everything nice and neat and tidy. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, just get in the car. Let's go. Leave the house the way it is. Let's just get on the road and go.
But if you've been at like a hotel or you've been on a cruise, you've had housekeeping for an entire week, right? Pretty much. And then you come home and nobody's doing the cleanup and you walk into a dirty place. Oh, that is depressing.
Yeah, I see it. And you do, when you come back home after a vacay and the house is nice and clean, you're glad you did it.
Yeah, of course. Unless you're just, don't want to do anything. And then take a vacay from the vacay.
Rob and Lizz.
His Morning Crew.
So there was a Cheez-It diner in Woodstock, New York. I don't know if they only sold Cheez-Its or recipes that involved Cheez-Its. And Cheez-Its are nice, but I can't see an entire diner.
You're talking about the cracker, the little Cheez-It snack, right?
Yeah.
Cheez-Its. There's a restaurant?
It was sort of like a pop-up diner, I think, to get everybody talking about it, that kind of thing. So it was open for just a really short amount of time, and then it closed. Well, they had some things in the diner that they were trying to get rid of, and one of those things was a jukebox, and it played music from like the 50s and 60s. I mean, it was a real like old-timey jukebox, but it was tricked out like Cheez-Its. And so they put it on eBay, and a portion of the proceeds went to charity. So as of yesterday, now the bidding ended last night at 11 o'clock, and I was not awake, so I don't know. But as of yesterday afternoon, the price was over $3,300 that somebody was going to pay for this jukebox. And I think you can get them a whole lot cheaper than that, I think. Even though it's
Cheez-It juice box?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think because the Cheez-It was added to it, it's kind of one of a kind, that's why the price was driven up. But I would love to know, like, I've been searching, how much did this thing go for? And it's down off eBay now, so I don't know.
Huh.
I know.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
That they did.
I think it's very cool. We had an Airbnb, I think it was last year, and they had a jukebox in the basement. They had like a game room, and it was the coolest thing because it's retro. It's super retro and very cool.
Rob and Lizz.
His Morning Crew.
So I was reading about, I didn't even know this existed, Mailbox Improvement Week. Boy, does my mailbox need an improvement. The little arm that goes up and down to tell the postal worker that I actually have a package in there to pick up or mail, that's gone. It's broken. It's sitting inside the mailbox.
Oh, no.
We haven't replaced it yet because, the rest of it works fine.
So what do? You just sit out there and wave the little army and go, come here, pick up the package.
I think they just open and look.
Okay, good.
There's something in there. They pick it up. We get junk mail every day. I don't know about you, but I just get a pile of junk. That's it. Now I'm getting all the political stuff. I had a mound of that yesterday. It was just crazy for everybody who's running for an office that we get to vote for. So they're asking for newer improvements with the post office. I guess we have to call them USPS, right?
Yes.
United States Postal Service, which
Right.
when I hear somebody say that, I get confused and think UPS.
UPS, the big brown truck, yeah.
I'm just thinking, just say post office, mail truck. I know what mail is. You don't have to say the USPS. Anyway, so they want bigger mailboxes to put the bigger items in instead of the smaller ones that we have now.
I kind of get that because sometimes, I do some online shopping, as does everyone in my house. And so my boys, especially my youngest, orders discs for disc golf all the time. And so if he orders more than one, it's kind of shoved into the mailbox. And, if you have something fragile, you really don't want that happening. So I get the bigger mailboxes.
Yeah, that makes sense. And in a neighborhood like mine, you have to get approval to do anything different with your mail because they want everything to look the same in the neighborhood, which I get that. So I can't put a bigger mailbox if I wanted to. I've got to get the same one that looks black and the same as everyone else. But Scott Watson lives in one of their fancy neighborhoods.
No, it's not fancy.
Yes,
it's
is.
just newer, and they want to make it easy for the mail carriers. So all the mail gets put into this one centralized location. So it has the little boxes for all the houses. But what I do like, it has a row of these larger boxes with a key. So if you get a package, they'll put it into that box, lock it, and then put your key to get to it in your regular mailbox.
Oh, so that way you've gotten a package.
Right. So you can go to like number 7, for example, and get the box out, and then you just leave the key for the next time that they use it.
Isn't it funny how all the different neighborhoods are so different? Mine has no rules at all. So we have a guy that has a bass fish as his mailbox. I kind of wish we had some rules.
See, I miss having my mailbox so that I could have, like flowers, or like Rob said, I miss the little red flag, even if it breaks off, that you can raise up to let them know you have something to mail.
But that their fancy neighborhood.
Wait, Scott. You're like sitting at home pondering the loss of your red flag on
Well, I do miss it.
mailbox.
I do like the idea of having the mailbox right at the end of the driveway.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
There's this guy named Gordon Waller. I don't know if you know him. He was actually in a group way back in the 60s called Peter and Gordon. Well, he knew John Lennon from the Beatles. And in 1965, John Lennon gave Gordon, one of his guitars. What did Gordon do? Put it up in the attic. So here it is about, over 50 years later now? That guitar was pulled out of the attic, was auctioned off, and because it was John Lennon's guitar, $2.9 million at an auction on Wednesday.
Bet. I 100% bet. But why would you put it in the attic if somebody like that, this incredible musician gave me something like that? It would have art lights on it, be in a shadow box. Like, what?
I don't think this guy thought like that. It's just like, as my buddy John gave me some guitar. Whoop, whoop. I'm putting it up in the attic. Forgot about it.
Wow. And over $2 million. I just don't know. I mean, yes, that's a lot of money. Could do a lot of things, buy a house, but at the same time, I don't know. I would have a hard time letting that go.
Buy a house? What kind of house you buying?
Oh,
it's a
buy
big old
several
house,
houses.